How do there, guys, and welcome back to Edgar TV for another episode of Let's Talk Darts, where we just sit down and we have a nice little chat about darts, really. So, we're joined today by the man who was on the stage when Lisa Ashton hit the world record average. He's also got really cool tattoos on his arms. We're joined by Aaron Beeney. Aaron, how do? Welcome to Edgar TV. I know you're a big fan of Edgar TV, so this must be up there for you.
Oh, yeah, naturally. This is a highlight of my week, of course.
Compared to the TV debut, obviously, against Lisa on ITV, where does this Edgar TV appearance sit in terms of live appearances?
I don't think you want to know the real answer to that, to be honest.
Just humour me, just pretend.
Well, bearing in mind that's my only other one. You're a strong second.
I'll take second. Silver's good. You know, some people aspire to be the best. I just want to be there. You know, and that's I'll take that. I'm on the podium. So
yeah.
How do to everyone joining us in the stream? We've got Stephen, Jojo, Daz, Chuck, Mark, Jojo. I've said Jojo. How do? People saying it best not be another April Fool's. That's
No, it's not. I'm really here. Yeah. I am really here.
You did see the Does Are April Fools, didn't you?
Yes, found that quite amusing.
Yeah, so did I. I literally, I laughed. I mean, you know what I'm like, so you can probably picture all this. I was laughing for about an hour beforehand, to the point I had to ring up Zach Thornton just to try and keep myself calm because I couldn't stop laughing about it.
You are that guy. Like you. It's like I still don't know what you and Ryan were trying to pull on me in Germany, but I clocked it straight away.
You did. See, we're getting straight into the juicy stories here. So basically, long and short of it is, I came up with an idea for something we could do to prank Beanie, and I said to Ryan, right, Ryan, get your phone out and get ready to film this moment. So Ryan sits there and he gets his phone out and puts on it. And then Aaron comes and he sits down in the chair and he looks at me and he looks at Ryan and he looks back at me. He's like, right, what's going on, sort of thing. And it's like, how can you clock that? You literally just clocks it straight away as if like it was glaringly obvious. And I'm like, that was impressive.
Observational skills of a prison officer, my friend.
You know when something's about to go down.
Yeah, so that coming a mile off. Still don't know what it was though. I'm sure you will catch me with it at some point, whatever it was.
I'm thinking maybe it needed a few more. Is it cockpeppers or something?
Have you got a few more?
I can't even remember what the beverage was called, but I remember.
Constrictor, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I ran out by that point. I think I drunk them out of them by that point.
And then you have to go to the other beverages. I've just noticed here that I've got a couple of people in the chat who are obviously normal followers of this. Did you actually have an opportunity to drink any mezzo mix while over in Germany?
No. I watched enough of your shows to know that is not something I should do, but I'm probably going to next time.
So you just stuck safe.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't actually see it. I don't know what it is. All I know is it's like you don't like it. That's the only thing I know.
It's awful. Well, there's a lot of things I don't like green eggs. But just to fill you in on this story,
I'm not a fan of the green egg either.
We was in Germany and we came across a green egg. Any normal person would look at that and go, green egg? No, thank you. Like I did. However, Beanie, you know that guy? We all know that. We all know him. And Beanie's that guy who, when you see something and they're like, I've got to try that. That's it. And he had a bite of it.
For the green egg, because you could see the tray was still full. They'd made all this green egg and not one person had taken one. So it's like, I felt bad for it.
There's a reason for that. Because everyone else is not that guy that we're talking about here. So he has a bite of it and he goes, I'm not too sure about that. So instead of going, I'll leave it, logical thing to do is to have a second bite. Now, the other thing is, Aaron doesn't like to waste food, so he finished it.
After realising on the second mouthful, that's not very nice.
Yeah. Is there any other things you've done where you've ate something or done something you really didn't like, but you just did it anyway?
Yeah, that blue WKD you left in my hotel room that day.
Oh, someone's just asked, and the thing is, right, Jodie's over here, by the way, guys, and Jodie's writing down the questions, and I'll read these out to Aaron once we've sat and we'll have a bit of a chat. But I've noticed someone has asked a question that I've just got to ask you. I just got to ask you this question because it's the most weirdest question I've ever had. This is episode 8, by the way, of Let's Talk Darts, and we have never had anything so bizarre in my life as terms of a question. Would you dress like a woman?
Oh, okay.
Did you get that?
No.
No, the question was, would you dress like a woman?
Oh, that's clearly someone that knows me. That might have happened on 2 occasions.
Right. Do you want to elaborate? This is what we're here for.
Who wrote that?
Who wrote that question? Did you catch it? Zumba Queen. So actually a regular follower of Edgar TV, so you just talked yourself into a corner here, because now we all want to know the story.
Well, the first time, we're going back a few years, it was a friend's 21st birthday, and there was a bit of gambling going on. I lost a bet. Rather than make me do some sort of like eat something I don't want to or pay money, no, I had to attend my friend's entire birthday in a pink mini dress. Nice. I'm 6'1". The lady that lent me the dress is 5'6". So it was a very, very mini dress. And yes, I did leave the house in that. I did attend the pub in that mini dress. It was very short. Very short.
Was the boxers showing?
I had to roll them up and use sellotape to make sure they didn't show out the bottom. We did have to tape them up.
This is exactly what I expected this stream to be like.
Somebody's obviously heard about at least one of them stories before. Whoops.
I'm thinking.
The funniest thing was back then. My mum found the dress and the bra amongst my clothes and asked me what was going on, and I had to tell my mum because she thought she didn't know what was going on, but I had to explain why I had a little pink mini dress and a bra in my clothes.
And also, I do believe your mum might be watching tonight as well. So,
she did ask how to watch it, so I'm sure she will remember finding the pink mini dress. That was a very awkward moment.
She'll be sat there right now going, "That's me boy."
So proud.
Brilliant. I think Zumba Queen also wants to know if there's any photos available of this.
Fortunately, I am old enough that digital cameras on phones were not a thing. So if there is, they're on a Polaroid somewhere and very safe, I hope.
Remember those days when you could get away with doing things and someone wouldn't be filming you?
Yeah. Like now, everyone's just got phone with camera and video, and yeah, I wouldn't have been able to hide that. Although someone's brought it out into the public eye anyway. Thanks for that.
Well, technically you talked yourself into it because I just saw it there and I thought, there's got to be something in this. Either, but I'm thinking it was more of like maybe a bit of a fetish of one of the followers here who's looking above you right now, because above you right now is a picture of your shirt off, and just thought, you know what, I'd like to know if this is here. And but I do believe he said there was twice. So, you know, that's one. What happened the second time?
That was drunken house party. I can't even remember how old I was, but we were at a house party, and yeah, I have no idea why, but 2 of us just put on a dress and then done. We had a race around the housing estate in dresses. drunk. There was a bouncy castle. There was all sorts going on. It was weird.
Okay, so I'm noticing a bit of a pattern here with the drunken theme. So keeping that in mind, I'm going to share one of your stories with the Edgar Nation regarding one evening. I do believe you know that you can fit into a washing machine.
It was yeah. It's a slightly larger than your average washing machine, but not by much. It was the washing machine in the back of house of the pub I used to manage.
And I think Ryan said that, didn't you get stuck or found it hard to get out of that?
Getting in was easy, yeah, but getting back out, I did have to have some help. I had to have some people putting my legs. There was a moment where I thought, this is it, this is how I die. That's it.
Could you imagine having to ring the fire brigade? My mate stuck in the washing machine.
Because I'm hypermobile and really bendy, we just wanted to see how small I could fold myself up.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Like you say, I'm just that guy.
Yes, you are. And as we go through this, we'll hopefully show more and more that you're that guy. Everyone knows that guy. Do you think we could ever get you in a washing machine for Edgar TV one day?
You know, I doubt it. I'm getting older now. I'm not. I'd like to say I'm getting a bit wiser. So no, I'd make sure that it's something I can easily get back out of, not a washing machine. Not making that mistake twice.
I often think, because me and Jodie clown around a few times as well, as you can probably guess. And I often think, what would it happen if someone walked in the room at this exact moment? And can you just picture, someone walking in and you in the washing machine, hello.
Someone just tugging on my leg. Come on.
Yeah, how did this happen? Because it's not one of them things, you could go, well, I fell over, slipped a little bit, and I face planted the dog food and a little bit went in my mouth and then I swallowed it, so that's how I accidentally ate some dog food. It literally is. You had to deliberately climb in there.
Yeah. No, I've made some stupid decisions in my life. Very.
Yeah, it's
entertaining,
yeah, and this is entertaining already. People getting to see that different side already. Not everyone will know that you fit in a washing machine.
Our private joke's about to become quite a national known thing. What is wrong with you?
Yes, if you don't know, well, you won't know. Ryan Searle hit Aaron Beeney with the line in Milton Keynes, I believe it was. We got up in the morning, we came down, we met Ryan, we told him the story of the evening, and then Ryan just looks at him with at least the level of semi-disgust, if not at least maybe 3/4.
It was he was full of disgust. It was venomous. He said it with venom. It really meant it.
And he cut through him and he goes, "What is wrong with you?" And ever since it's been a thing, hasn't it? Whenever Aaron's ate some green egg again. Oh, what is wrong with you? Oh, Aaron's got in the washing machine. Everyone's saying the same thing in the chat as well. Every group's got that one guy, and I'd like to say you're the Loxley version of that, but
I am.
I'd say you're the darts version of it, really. You're the Pro Tours version of that guy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that I've made it to this, to be honest. I've actually done something that's decent rather than just weird.
Well, I suppose we've had 18 minutes of talking about. Well, we've painted you really to be a bit of a sideshow freak at the moment.
That's pretty much how you all treat me at Loxley. I'm just a sideshow freak.
But I suppose we best mention some darts. We're 18 minutes in, and you say we all treat you as a bit of a sideshow freak, but at the moment, the perception's changing of you, isn't it? I think people are treating you differently in general because of what you're doing on the board.
Yeah, yeah. There is definitely a bit of a switch. Like I felt kind of like the retarded child most of last year. You walk around the room and everyone going, "It's all right, you're getting there. You're doing all right." Everyone's just trying to like, let's help you find your mum. I felt like that guy lost in the kid lost in the supermarket. But yeah, no, this year I'm competitive. It's very yeah. I've definitely changed a few things and it's worked.
Well, not just competitive. You have beat the reigning, defending world number 1 and world champion Gerwyn Price, former world champion Rob Cross, and 5-time, for any of you Booker T fans, that's 5-time PD's world champion Raymond van Barneveld just this year.
Yeah, a little part of me hopes that I am going to lose my tour card and I can retire from professional darts unbeaten against them. It's a good record. Yeah.
And if we look at, like you say, the record, and you've said a few things have changed, which I'm going to pick your brain a little bit on in a second. We mentioned, last year compared to this year. This year you reached a semi-final. That one day in Germany eclipsed the whole of last season.
Yeah.
You've said things have changed.
Quite a big way that eclipsed everything I did last year.
So you say things have changed. What do you think? What do you think has changed? What do you put it down to, other than obviously hooking up with the primetime player?
Well, the man with the world record outshot percentage for the World Championships, that guy.
And the guy who beat Gary Anderson with 170 finish.
Oh, I've never heard that story before.
No, well, not for at least a week since we got back from Germany. So
that's probably the longest I've gone without hearing that story. My mentality has definitely changed. I spent a lot of time as a dart fan, and like I say, feeling like that kid lost in the supermarket with all of these like adults in the top 64 going, "You'll get there, it'll be all right." I've put a bit of effort into like the mental side of how I approach a game. Yeah. I've had a bit of improvement in my confidence just in me. And like I say, we laugh and we joke, like, yeah, I can fit in a washing machine and everything. But where I have so much movement in my shoulder, like I'm ridiculously hypermobile. So keeping my arms straight for an entire match takes a lot of concentration and effort. And over lockdown 3 with COVID and, not being at the World Championships, there was quite a big gap between competitive games for me. I really increased the amount of exercise I've been doing, and I've changed the way I do work out. And I've put on quite a substantial bit of muscle mass, and it's really tightened up that looseness in my shoulder. That's given me a lot more confidence in my arm staying straight. It's given me a lot more confidence just in me personally, like as a whole. I walk to the board now and I don't shake. I feel like I'm going to be competitive. And I've always said, like, my finishing's good. It's the consistency on the scoring. But those were really big challenges. And I say, like, the signing for Loxley, and now I do spend a ridiculous amount of time with you and Ryan. And
Lucky
I
guy.
think, indeed, it's definitely amusing, if nothing else. But what's happened there? Like, I've practiced with some great players. I mean, the first time we went out to Germany, I was practicing with Jeff Smith and Darren Webster. Before that, I've been practicing with Steve West, Nick Kenny. I've been practicing with good players, but there's not really been any sort of structure. Now that me, you and Ryan meet in the morning and we warm up together, and we do silly little games, and there is an element of competitiveness. Mm-hmm. Like we actually have targets. Like we do stuff that makes it have a bit of an edge. It's not just aimlessly throwing at a board trying to get them to go straight. We have structured kind of practice that we do. That's been really beneficial as well. Just the way I practice. I've not increased my practice, but the way I practice has changed.
Yep.
Physically, I've looked after myself better, and I'm in a better shape probably than I've ever been in my life, which does help control the disability. And just my mental attitude has changed a lot. I'd say they're the three huge things that have changed for me this year.
Yeah, there's a couple of things I'm just writing down there to bring back up again. So one of the things you said about the mental side changing. Now, from someone who practiced with you on both of the years, there was last year, our conversations was a lot about, even before you'd played, what am I doing wrong? It was all on the negative before you even played, where now it's sort of like, oh, I've got so-and-so today, and it's like, let's go have a bash, let's go have a knock, let's see if I'm good enough today. You know, it's sort of like, am I good enough on the day, yes or no, rather than what am I doing wrong? And that's something that just, well, the words that are coming out is a big difference. Do you feel that as well? Like, that you go in there and it's sort of, we're going to play a game and he's got to beat me, rather than going up and going, I'll see if I can get a couple of legs today, let's see if I can work out how to do this.
Yeah, like I said, my mental attitude to it is very different. Like back then, I was walking to the board and I could already feel my heart racing, and my hand was physically shaking. Which, you know, when I have trouble to keep my arm going straight as it is, that's not really very helpful. That's all gone. I'm walking to the board and, rather than, oh my God, I'm playing darts against Raymond van Barneveld, it's, all right, it's a game of darts against a legend. Like, if I lose, that's what's expected. If I win, I'm a hero.
Yeah.
I find myself kind of in a situation where I can't lose because people have written me off, and, you know, I know what I can do. So the mental attitude has changed a lot, and now I feel like my opponent does have to beat me. I'm still not hitting massive averages, but, you know, my winning legs are tidy.
Yep.
It's just ropey losing legs that are dragging my average right down. And that's how I was at Q School the day I won my card. It's like my average weren't good, but my winning legs were 12, 15, 14. But my losing legs, you know, we're throwing 21 darts and I'm probably still on 160 something. It's like, ugh.
I think there's a way we can summarise that quite well, actually, is that now you, like say, Barneveld, before it'd be, when now, like what you basically said there with if I lose or if I win, basically it can be summarised in the word opportunity. You see these games as an opportunity now, and I think I had a very similar when I drew Michael Van Gerwen in the first Pro Tour, and I went, oh, I've got Van Gerwen, and I went, what an opportunity, and you went, love that.
Yeah, you did say that, yeah. Love that.
And, you know, the same thing, I think you've probably got into that state now where when you draw one of these players, it's like, okay, what an opportunity I've got here. I mean, taking this down a level, you know, because it's got way too serious, way too quick. Are you aware that...
Considering how we started.
I know, I'm going back there now. Are you aware that, you know, you beat two legends of the game, you beat world champions in Gerwin Price and Raymond van Barneveld, but they both quit after losing to you. The next day never turned up.
Yeah.
Like I say, there's always that guy.
They both cited medical issues, and the medical issue was it made them feel sick losing to me.
We just had to bring it back down again there, just so it didn't get too serious too much. There's another thing you mentioned here that I made a note of. You said that you're not practicing more, you're practicing better, which I always say the same thing. Train smarter, not harder. If you're going to do a 5-mile journey and it takes you 10 hours to do to do the 5 miles, or you do the 5 miles in half an hour, what's more beneficial to the long-term development of your body? You know, and just one person will go, well, I've been training for 10 hours today, but with no intensity. And I think that's, again, what you're saying, you're citing there, is within the practice and within that preparation time now, it's not just aimlessly thrown at the board. There's actually a consequence for missing. You know, we'll lose points, we'll lose a score, where if we hit it, we've got records, we've got stats that we try and beat, even in practice, don't we? You know, with the games that we do.
That and like me, you and Ryan all have this thing where like you'll hit one, and then Ryan will hit one. It's like, well, I'm not going to be the first one to miss, so I'll hit one, and then the pressure's on you, and we build that pressure on each other with banter, and although it's like quite friendly, and it's like a team game we are doing, we do get competitive with it, and that is the mentality that you have in the match. It's like, all right, you've hit a 140, I'm going to match that. And I am someone that looks at my opponent's score. I like to see what they're doing. And yeah, like that mentality goes through the practice I have with you and Ryan. And even when I'm at home practicing alone, I make sure I keep a track of what I'm doing, and I'm setting myself targets. I'm berating myself if I miss and I'm behind. And yeah, it's about trying to keep that competitive like mind going while you're practicing as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I say, practicing smarter, not more, is definitely huge.
I'm going to go to the chat box in a second and start reading out some questions. Jodie's gave me loads in here, but there's one I saw at the very start, which I really wanted to go to. Yeah, this one was quite a good one, actually. And I don't know if Ryan's in here. He said he would be popping in. He might not be here at the moment. Who is the best player in practice?
Best player in practice?
Yeah.
Are we talking just out of us, or from what we see on other boards as well?
Well, in your in your perception of what you've seen, who would you say is the best in practice?
Someone who I've actually only seen practicing once or twice, but scared the life out of me with how good they were on that practice board, and shocked me when I was looking at their results and their averages. Danny Baggish.
Okay. Yeah.
He was on a practice board near us one day, and he weren't missing that triple 20. He weren't missing. He didn't miss anything. I was like, Jesus, he's going to go far today, and I think he lost his first game. So I was like, wow. But yeah, watching him on the practice board, unbelievable. But on the flip side of that, what shocks me more is how many of the real top players, you watch them on the practice board and they're awful.
Yeah.
But then they go to the match and just something. That's the thing. That's why they're the top players. Something switches when they're on that match board. But in practice, you're looking at it thinking, well, I could beat that easy.
Was there any tenors exchanged that day? With the
No, there wasn't, but only because he lost the tenner 5 seconds later.
That story is coming, guys. Don't worry about that. That story will be coming in the very near future.
I didn't know where to look.
I said it, and I said it in a way that I never thought it was going to happen, and it just did. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, you said it in a way that was never going to happen, but you said it and done. Whoa.
Okay. Let's just go over here.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a moment. So we'll go to the chat box, guys, because loads of things are coming in. Also, this conversation came up in Germany. I've just seen there's someone in the room now who me and you have both said we love this guy. Dart Horse is in the chat.
Yes.
Wasn't there a story, like you said, that he did a tweet and then had to correct it and still put nay on the end of the correction as well?
He replied to a tweet that I was in. He miswrote something. He went, no, nay. Sorry, that's meant to say blah. Nay. Oh, no. That's sticking to it.
So, Dart Horse, just in case you was... this was around a table full of, full of players. We were just sat chatting and somehow we got onto Dart Horse. Granted, the next conversation was about having a bath in baked beans, which lasted for an hour.
Well, yeah, that lasted a long time. I can't remember. I was laughing so much. I don't even remember what was so funny about it now.
Yeah.
Crying.
There was something about an orange blanket. The beans, yeah. And then I'm trying to think. Something else came up, but I'm not sure. Oh. Someone else had mentioned in the chat earlier on about my flatulence.
Yeah, you missed some of the bean conversation.
That actually links in with this perfectly. So we were sat there, right? Was outside in the open air, and I says, "I need to do one," and I've gone, and it went for a while, didn't it? It was like a thunderstorm, and then literally straight away in the open air, in the outdoors, he goes, "Oh!" It ponged. It had a bit of a woof to it. It had a bit of a bite, and then I was like, I've got to go.
Weight to it. What if the wind wasn't removing it? It was just sitting there around us. It was horrible.
It was, it was for an outdoor one. It was. I was very proud of. But then, literally minutes later, I had to go, and I missed about 10 minutes of that conversation because I had to run to the lift, and I'm like, come on. So you don't get these stories anywhere else, do you? You don't get this on Sky Sports.
Yeah, but I was genuinely concerned for you, and I asked you, did you make it? How did you reply?
I think I sent a video, didn't I?
You sent a selfie on the toilet. Thanks, mate. Really wanted that.
I think I videoed it, didn't I? Because I knew it was going to go.
Yes, yeah, it was a video, yeah.
Yeah.
Only from like there up. I didn't. That was all.
Yeah, we're not animals. Right, chat box time. So I've got questions here. Jodie's writing loads down, so I'm going to have to fire through these a little bit because we've got millions of questions. Loads of people want to ask questions in. So, I say loads of people want to ask questions. Here we go. Here's question number 1 from Christopher O'Rourke. Would you rather have a Peter Wright mohawk or go bald like MVG?
Mohawk.
That was a nice, easy one there.
I'd rather go fat than bald. I like having hair. I don't want to lose my hair.
You did used to have long hair like Ryan Searle at one point, and there's photos of that as well.
Do you want to see one? Should we put one?
Yeah, go on.
Should we shock some people?
Yeah, pull it up. And while you're pulling that up, I'll just ask you a few more questions, so you can do that while you're pulling that up. Love Dart says, can you compete arting-wise with Edgar and Searle?
No, I'm not actually that flatulent.
You're not, no.
Not. Bearing in mind how much I eat, right, and I do eat. You are horrendous. You eat like a peanut, and you're gonna fart like every minute for the next 10 minutes. Like, I can eat like a meal for 6, and I'm good. I'm golden. I don't know why.
Jodie's just at the side of me here. You can vouch for this, can't you? Like last night, there was something wrong with me. Like literally every 3 minutes, I was just rasping them out, weren't I? I was like a hot air balloon.
There's something. Honestly, there is something wrong with that. 100%. Right, I've got the long hair photo. I found one.
Oh, cool. Yep. Do you want to pull it up to the screen so everyone can have a nice little look at that?
That is me.
Is Zumba Queen still in here? Does that go in with your beanie wearing a dress fetish? Don't know if that fits in with it.
When I wore the dress, I did have that hair.
Oh, there you go. Do you know what? There is a photo where I edited a dress on you, weren't they? Because you was drinking a Blue Wicked.
Yeah, you did do that, yeah. No, you're Blue Wicked. I did not put air freshener in it to try and make it taste better.
Yes! Yes.
Really long hair.
Again, what is wrong with you? Yeah. Air freshener.
It couldn't have made it taste worse. Horrible stuff, that is.
But you finished it.
I don't like to waste food or drink.
Connor Bastable was the one who asked the question. He actually said, who is the best in practice of the Loxley boys?
Now that's very dependent if we're doing scoring, you always start strongest, but then kind of tail off and seem to just get bored. I slowly creep up, and then Ryan just hits a purple patch and wins that every time.
Yeah.
When we're doing finishes, Ryan doesn't wake up until we're over 90. He can't do 2 dark combinations. It has to be a ton plus. I don't know why. I don't know. In practice, we're all pretty even. I feel.
Yeah.
On the practice board, we're pretty solid.
But I would say that one of us has set a record at the World Championship for finishing. I'd say, with that in mind, I think maybe that guy should just edge it slightly. You know, the world record. Just, you know.
I tell you, what I will say is the amount of times that you throw the world's worst first dart and it literally goes 4 or 5 inches from where you're looking. Literal, absolute shocker. Could not have been any worse. What a mess. And then you go something ridiculous like double 13 bullseye. Why have you done that? How's that work?
Oh, the amount of times I do silly shots with the ball, yeah. I love doing those.
Yeah, but only after you've literally, what feels like trying to throw a spoon at the board. Right? Just like, what have you done there? And then, you fix it by just being you. Just
a world record setter. Mark Yule has asked this one. I think this could be a tough question for you. He's asked, what is your tipple of choice? And I think this could be really difficult because I'm pretty sure your philosophy on life is, if it's wet, drink it.
Unless it's blue WKD. No, I don't like fizzy drinks. So I drink lots of like dark ales. Nothing with bubbles, not a lager drinker. It'll always be like a Guinness or ale. I like craft beers and real ale, proper British real ale.
1, 2, 3, 4. This is question number 5, and it's the second one that involves farting. So that's 40% of the questions so far revolve flatulence. Adam Hinchcliffe has said, have you ever been on the receiving end of Matt's farts?
Yeah, the one that cleared 3 practice boards.
Yeah.
I was stood behind you. You literally let your third dart go, then farted, and I walked into it ready to throw my darts and had to back away.
But you stayed. 3 boards cleared, and Ryan went as well, but you braved it out.
It's because I was laughing so hard I couldn't move. The more people that left, the funnier it got. It's like when someone 10 foot down that way has gone, oh, what is and gone, no, I'm done, folded. Yeah, that was disgusting but hilarious.
Yes, and it just makes, I'm the same. As soon as I see more people get disgusted, it just makes me laugh even more. I hate it.
I was crying, but I didn't know if that was the laughter or the stinging in my eyes from the stench.
Nico has asked, how often do you practice?
Good question. Because I work full time. Often, when I go home from the prison, some days I'm just too tired. What I do while I'm waiting for the kettle to boil, if I'm having a cuppa, I might throw 12, 15 darts, but then I'll relax. But when I know there's a tournament coming up, I will practice every night after work for only about 45 minutes, maybe an hour and a half for the 2 weeks building up. I don't overdo it. I might put a little bit more in on the weekend, but I'm not someone that can just stand there for hours on end throwing at a board. I'll do a couple of my practice games and then walk away. Hour and a half is the longest, but I might do that 2 or 3 times on a weekend. Yeah. But only when I'm building up to a tournament. Other than that, I just the odd dart while I'm waiting for the kettle to boil, while the bath's running, or nothing major. Like when I'm at work in the prison, that's my focus. When I'm at work with the darts, that's my focus.
Yeah, sort of a split personality sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that diagnosis, but
which one?
What is wrong with you?
I'm sure we're waiting on many diagnoses. Robbo has asked, did you ever play any BDO darts?
I, like in my late teens, my mum and dad used to go to the Sheppey Classic because it was only like 10 minutes up the road from where we were living, really. So we used to do that. That was just kind of like a bit of a family day out every year. Done that 3 or 4 times. But recently, no, I've done one BDO Open. I made last 16, I think. But that was just before my first attempt at Q School. So I was actually doing it for a bit of match practice, building up to something. But no, never done BDO. Other than that.
This question we knew was coming up, and we've already had this conversation because we knew when we said let's do a Let's Talk Darts, we knew this question was going to come up. So we sort of we did this, rehearsed it, shall we say, in Germany. Now normally what happens is the person answers this question, I ain't got a clue who it is, and I research it. So what I'll do is I'll play along with it the way I normally would, because I know who you're going to say. So CB15 has asked, who is your celebrity crush?
We have had that conversation.
We did.
So there's a few, but I'm a big fan of Kate Beckinsale. Underworld movies. Kate Beckinsale in leather.
There you go, Kate Beckinsale. Now this is the point I normally go, who is that? Because I still didn't know who it was, so I did have to look it up. Do you know Kate Beckinsale?
You did.
Yeah,
Jodie knows who Kate Beckinsale is. Would you kiss her?
she's quite pretty, yeah.
That's not why I asked.
I wouldn't kiss her. I can see why we would like her, Kate Beckinsale, yeah.
He likes her in leathers.
Yeah, because she does a lot of like the vampire films. I can't remember the film, but she did a couple with the lichens and
Underworld.
vampires. Underworld, that's the one.
Yeah.
They did that, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to get back to it now because it's not Jodie TV. So,
Well, you asked.
if you want to interview Aaron, you can interview him on your channel. But for right now, this is Edgar TV. So, she always has to hide. She'll be doing that now. She'll be messaging. Do you want to come on Jodie TV?
He's been on my channel. I played him, remember?
Right. Where's the questions? Jojo29 has asked, what are your targets for this year? Qualifying for the Worlds, maybe? Attempting to keep the tour card? Is there like a driving focus for 2021?
Because I've had such a good start to the year, target is not just the Worlds. I want to play at the Worlds. I want to do the Players' Champs finals and do enough at them to hang on to my tour card. If I manage to hold on to my tour card after narrowly scraping 4 wins in a year on my first year, what a story. That'd be amazing. But we'll see. I might be able to do it.
You're the man who keeps writing different stories, so that'd be another one to add in there. Niall Cullerton's asked if you've been approached by Q magazine. I'm guessing that's to do with your photo that's above your head there. I'm guessing he's saying you look very attractive.
No, haven't been approached by any magazines other than dart related, and they've all requested I keep the shirt on.
It's normally a normal request for dart players, but I could see maybe at some point it might change for certain people. Philip Davies has asked, would you like to draw Edgar at the World Championship? Ooh, controversial.
No, because he decides to start it in doubles really a lot on that stage. I don't want that.
Yeah, I love that stage. I've got to keep getting onto it. It's amazing.
I would love to play you, but on a pro tour. I think when it comes to major televised, because we've got like the little bit of a Loxley brotherhood, I'd want us to be kind of different ends of the draw, me, you and Ryan, unless we only meet if we're like really getting into the tournament. Like there is a bit, I think it'd be too friendly. Pro Tour would be fine. Televised major, I wouldn't want to play you or Ryan. Just because, you know, bit of a Loxley Brotherhood thing going on.
In fact, I think Ryan's asked this next question because it's come through from someone called Heavy Metal, which I think is Ryan's account, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Heavy Metal. He's put, has the 61 game with me and Matt been the key to your improvement? So he's like me, he's trying to jump on the back of this and take the credit as well.
Yeah, no, like I say, the three major things that have changed is my mentality, my physical fitness, and being able to have better control over my really wobbly limbs, and the structured practice that you and Ryan have given me, 100%. Because there is that competitive edge, but we're all quite silly and we banter and we give each other barracking, and no one wants to be the receiving end of the barracking. We've got a really good setup. I do agree that is one of the three things that has improved me.
Robbo's asked another question here, actually. He said, what was the first tournament you won? Was it possibly Q School?
So Q School was the first proper dart tournament I ever won, yeah. I had won some prison service darts stuff, but that's like really bespoke, kind of like, and if you work for the prison, you can play in the prison darts. I won a couple of them, but yeah, Q School was the first dart tournament I won. I've never even won my pub league singles. I've made the final.
It's a story, isn't it?
Yeah, Q School was the first tournament I ever won.
Brilliant. That's a story, and it's, if anything, it's kind of inspirational to anyone in here who plays darts themselves, that everyone's got these predetermined outcomes, haven't they? You know, like, oh, I've got to do this average before I can do this. I've got to do this average before I do that. You're kind of living proof that actually what happens in the past doesn't matter. It's what happens on the day. On the day,
yeah. I mean, because one of my favourite things when I won my tour card was somebody sent me an Edgar TV video that you'd done, which was 100% off the back of me winning my tour card, because apparently the video before that you said there will be no shocks or surprises, BDO's dying, all of these people, like there'll be no surprises at Q School this year. Aaron Beeney's won a tour card, and then you've done a video called "This Is Why I Was Wrong." I'm quite proud that I had to get you. I caused you to do a video stating this. I was wrong. This is why.
It's very rare, you know. It's extremely rare that I'm wrong, you know. But
no. It's extremely rare that you admit you're wrong.
Literally, when I said that, Jodie just looked at me straight away as if to go, "Really?" She sat there shaking her head at me. Graham Worsley has asked, in 2021, which dart player, if you could choose anybody to beat this year, if you could pick a person that you're going to beat, a freebie, you're just going to go and you're going to beat them, who would it be? Who would be the person that you would want on your list? Yeah, go on.
Peter Wright, Gary Anderson, because they're the only PDC World Champions I haven't beat yet, but are on the tour still.
At the start of the year, would you maybe have said Gerwyn Price, or would you have gone for more of the longevity sort of nostalgia like a Gary Anderson, you know, because obviously beating someone like Gary Anderson is a huge feat that takes massive credit, and it's right up there.
70 checkout, by any chance?
Surely nobody could do that, especially for the match against a player like Gary Anderson. That's just got to be up there with the best things, the most remarkable things that you could possibly think of in darts, surely. And to do it with a 170. I don't know if anyone could do that.
Are you not bored of this yet?
No. It's not even been a year yet, even though it might feel like it's been many. It's not been one yet.
It feels so much longer.
Yeah, it was it was the summer series. And when the summer series was like June?
Yeah, it was, yeah. But no, that was incredible, because you were on the live stream, you beat Gary Anderson, and it was with a 170. Like, in my mind, feel free to keep riding that wave. That's amazing.
There'll be one day.
But you've never beat Gerwyn Price in our last leg decider.
There you go. There you go. He's got it. We've all got our little claims there. Daniel Vernon has asked, who is your favourite dart player?
Peter Wright. If we're talking on the tour now, Peter.
Yeah. Who would be your second favourite?
Ooh. You know what? I've always been a big fan of Whitlock. Just because you think you know what he's going to do, but then he'll go for out shots in a way that you can see even Russ Brave trying to do the math. Like, is that right? Has he really just done that? Yeah, I find Whitlock entertaining to watch, and he is quite a nice bloke as well. So,
who would be your third?
Are you fishing for me to say you?
Yeah, I'm seeing how far I have to go. I've only got 125 players to go now. Nathan Aspinall. Nathan Aspinall's asked, do you wash your hair? Nathan Aspinall's not actually here. This is a bit of a side joke. That was literally. I don't know why that came to me again, but it just literally logged in my memory, and I was like, right, quick, write it down so I can remember to ask you this question.
Me with long hair.
I hope Ryan's still here. Do you wash your hair?
That was one of the most obscure moments ever.
Everyone just stopped and looked at him like, you what? Did you really just say that? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a moment that was.
Amazing.
What was the stay like in the oh, this was Annie, by the way, says, what was the stay like in Germany? What was the area like? And the beer, Kostritzers.
Did you say the name was Annie?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I love Germany. Like, I like that venue. They've got that really nice big beer garden. Like, you're in the middle of woodland. I like it. I really like that. And the beer Kostritzers, amazing. And if that's the Annie I'm thinking of, she works there, so she wants me to say nice things about it.
Right, yes. Well, you did drink plenty of that beer.
They ran out of it. They ran out of it by Monday. I had to switch beers.
And I believe the next one was a lot. Yeah, Ryan's here. I believe the second one was larger and stronger, which caught you out a little bit.
Yeah, I was a little bit wobbly.
You did have plenty of it, to be fair.
Yeah. I don't like sitting in the hotel room, and they say you can go out in a nice sunny garden and drink really nice German beer. Of course I'm going to do that. I was celebrating. I made a semi-final. Of
course. I'm surprised you even went to bed. I thought you just stayed there all night.
I would have done, but they actually threw us out. There was a few of us that, we were there until they asked us politely to leave.
Too much conversations about beans and...
I will not name other people, but I'm sure they know who they were. This
was the other thing, actually, right? We had one evening, we sat out, didn't we, in the courtyard thing, and we had about a 30-minute conversation. This is life on the tour here for you guys. This is how rock and roll it is. We had a 30-minute conversation on the etiquette of eating crisp sandwiches.
That did happen, yeah.
And how to eat them properly, because we said you got to hold them at the bottom or the crisps fall out, and then you got to crunch the crisps, and then we talked about the best crisps for making a crisp sandwich, which was prawn cocktail. Jodie's looking at me funny, like, you really sat out there for that? We was out there for hours.
This is the sort of life-changing conversations professional dart players have in their downtime.
Crisp butties.
Yeah.
There's a couple of people asking for a little bit more information on the hair wash thing. The long and short of it was me, Ryan, and Aaron was on one board, and on the board next to us was Nathan Aspinall, Andy Bolton, and
Chris Dobie, wasn't it?
Chris Dobie, yes. And we was having a bit of a chat back and forward, and then Nathan's got his earphones in, and he just takes his earphones out and he looks at Ryan and goes, "Do you wash your hair?" Out of nowhere. And then it was all because he knew someone with long hair that didn't wash their hair because they plait it or something. So
No. He knew someone with long hair. He said he knows like some girls with long hair, like they wash it every other day, but some days they just use dry shampoo. So he thought, like, I wonder if Ryan does that. And it all made sense in Nathan's head, just no one else's.
yeah. And we was all stood there like, have you really just asked him that? And Ryan's like, oh my god. Oh, it was a mental one. Osty Van Ostyman TV has just sent in a super chat. Thank you, Osty. He's put, could I get a shout out, Aaron? Many thanks.
Ah, you may indeed. Hello, Osty. I think I know who you are. You're the one that keeps sharing all my stuff on Twitter.
That'll be the one. He's asked for a shout out, and there it is. Thank you, Osty. Yeah, Ryan's just recalling that. It was just one of those surreal moments, because, like I say, it was almost like he was in a different world. Like, he was having this conversation in his head, but then just joined in at the wrong point.
Just out of nowhere. It was completely just blindsided by this. Do you wash your hair? It was such a so seriously as well.
Because Jodie does this, right? What she'll do is she'll have this conversation in her head, and she'll come up with all these things and all these bits, and then she'll join me in the conversation towards the end of it, and she'll go like, "We should do that, shouldn't we?" Do what?
Do what?
Just catch me up with this conversation. What are we on about here? She'll just tag you in that end bit. So, yeah, I felt the pain. And it was just the fact that Ryan had to then try and justify the fact that he actually washes his hair. Like, when he stood there like, well, yeah, of course I wash my hair. What are you on about? Oh, and it was
pure gold. Pure gold.
Everyone with long hair must not wash.
He must use dry shampoo because he's got long hair. Right.
Yeah, that was probably one of my favourite conversations. That one, the baked beans, and I'm just going to say I'm going to say one word, and I think this is you'll know where I'm going with it. Massive.
That conversation was nearly an hour. And
it weren't going anywhere. It just weren't registering, was it? It was just weren't...
round and round. Just yeah. We never got anywhere with that.
Oh, Dave Vlemenix has also sent in a super chat donation. So first of all, thank you for that, Dave. He has asked, can Aaron tell us what is in his dart case?
Oh, I did have that, but...
What is in my dart case?
Yeah, what's in the dart? Do you have it to hand, maybe? Maybe we could have a big reveal. Here we go. You're not just going to get told what's in the dart case. You're going to see. That's what we do on Edgar TV. We take your question and we amplify it to a different level.
So within the dart case, I mean, there's one set of darts are actually in the board, but there's always two sets of darts. We've got the really worn practice ones and the ones that, if I'm on a live stream, they look slightly nicer because the paint does come off. There is also at the bottom here in this wrapped up bit, that is the prototypes for my darts, which I still need to give to Dominic. Twice I've forgotten to do that. Spare stems, spare flights. That is it. Two sets of darts, stems, flights, and the prototypes. That is it. Nothing exciting.
The one I wish I did take a photo of, and I should have because it was there, and it was literally chatting, and it was the day that they was talking about.
I don't know where you're going, but it's my humour.
I'll just tell you, Van Gogh and Vincent van der Walt. And John Henderson.
Yeah. It's all right. Backup arrived.
Yeah, that would. That conversation was one that won't be repeated. But so the
Germany very funny time.
He had his case on the side, Van Gerwen did. I was going to ask him if I could take a picture of it, because it was a mess.
Yeah.
You remember, he had like 20 sets of darts in there, and they were just all chucked in, and literally everything was just like in a mess, weren't it? There was nothing like in wallets or pouches. It was just all like me packing my suitcase.
The case itself was like proper beat up and scratched, and like that's in better days. But yeah, there was just loads of darts, stems, broken bits, and just it looked like a dark graveyard rather than a dark case.
Yep, that's a very good way of putting it. If you are enjoying this stream, by the way, guys, please do hit the like button if you haven't done so already. That is the thumb up symbol just underneath me here. Turn it blue, hit the like button. We can get over 100 likes. We've currently got 95. I think we'll get over that point quite good. Adam Hinchcliffe has asked, have we ever played each other? I can answer that one for you. We haven't yet.
No. I played Ryan, not you. But I played Ryan pre-Loxley, so...
Oh, we've got some more questions inside here. Oh, I've answered that one already, because Jodie wrote that Dave one down. Nico has asked, how many dart sets do you both own from Loxley? So how many Loxley sets of darts do you... Oh, we just had another 12 likes. Thank you, guys. Big jump there. How many sets of darts do you actually own in total?
Well, like if I've got a couple of different sets of like my personal Loxley darts, but 3 sets of darts. The darts I won Q School with, which I played with for 12, 13 years. I never changed them. They're just the only set of darts I ever had. And then when I was switching and I was before I signed for Loxley, I was with someone else trying to get my dart done. I brought a set that was kind of similar to what we were designing to throw with. And that's what I used the summer series when I got my first win. So the Q School darts, I never won a PDC match with them. I then played the 5 days in the summer series with these random ones I brought, got the Scott Waits win, and then the Beanies arrived. They're the only darts I've played with in, well, probably my whole life, really.
Was it weird? Like, you mentioned that you never even won your pub singles, and, you know, you got this tour card. You probably felt like you was chucked in the deep end very quick, you know, like get in there, sink or swim. And then all of a sudden you've got your shirt on with your name on it, and you've got darts with your face on the packaging.
I know, it's weird. I'm still not used to that. Like people are buying something with my face on the box, like my name. Like they're going all over the world. Loads of them to Germany. I've got loads of German fans. Hi, Go Gartner. That they, like it's so surreal. Still doesn't seem real because I go to work every day and like nothing for me. Nothing's really changed. Like, I still work full time. I go to the prison, and people say like that must be really weird, especially like since that semi-final. I've done so many interviews for different like companies and everything. Everyone's like, "That's got to be so amazing." And so, you know what? It don't even register half the time. It just doesn't seem real.
I can vouch for that.
It just seems like a whole nother life.
Yeah.
It's not mine. But it is very strange.
Yep. I can 100% vouch for that. And I think sometimes, I'm going to open up a little bit here. Ryan's just said the same. He's not used to that either. You know, like things, people buying your stuff. I think one of the reasons, I do talk a lot about things like the Gary Anderson finish or the world record. When I did the 75%. A lot of the time, it's because you're trying to convince yourself that it's real and that it's you. Yeah. You might be saying it a lot, but it's because it's almost like a dream. But it doesn't feel. You'd think you'd feel something, but you don't. So you talk about it to try and make yourself feel it. Because it feels like it's someone else's life.
Like
you're just watching it.
If it weren't for the fact that you've got Darts Connect and people are watching, if I went back and I told someone, oh yeah, yesterday I beat Rob Cross, Raymond Van Barneveld, Zoran Erchbacher, William Borland, I made a PDC ranking semi-final. Yeah, whatever, jog on.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be locked up. I mean, what actually happened? Like,
I'm surprised you're not, to be fair. You know, I'm surprised dart results is the reason you thought it'd be. Brilliant. The other thing is, you mentioned darts are going worldwide, and they are. I can vouch for that. You know, just recently, Loxley sent out darts, and someone in Japan had bought your darts because they liked your tattoos. You know, you've got a bit of a unique look, you know, some might say, you know, and being a bit worldwide, you know, do you find that you get a lot of mentions about having a unique look, you know, having the tattoos and the physique, shall we say?
I watched. So I always like to watch back anything where I'm on the live stream or TV, because when you're there, you don't know what the commentators are saying about you.
Yeah.
And I always get this thing, like, I want to know what the commentators are saying. And it was the semi-final against Michael Smith, and they were talking about Joe Cullen and the nickname the Rockstar, and out of nowhere, I think it was Paul Nicholson just pulls out with the tattoos and the slick back hair. He wouldn't be amiss in a rock band, would he? Like, random, like, we're trying to play darts. Like, I'm not in a band. Yeah, but there are a lot of dart players that have got like full sleeve tattoos. Like Nathan's got an arm done.
Michael Smith?
Yeah, for some reason, it seems to really stick out that people notice that about me. More so than anything else.
George Marsh has asked a question that actually came up in that German conversation where we summarised the world for about 4 hours. The conversation about, will Edgar make it to the toilet? Can we have a bath in baked beans? How can we eat crisp butties? What crisps are the best ones? And we also spoke about this question here, which George Marsh has said, is there going to be release of any Aaron Beeney beanie hats?
That question did come up. We have spoke about that. I'm hopeful. It does seem like there's talks. There are talks.
Did you like my suggestion?
I did, actually. I thought it was very clever. But if you're going to do that, it's got really. Yeah, I do like your idea, but you know, I don't even have my first name on my shirt, so your idea was good.
Let's ask the chat. The chat. I'm going to put it in here. Give me a yay, or in the words of Dart Horse, a nay.
Okay.
So give me a yay or a nay. My suggestion was he just has a plain beanie hat with the word Aaron on it. Nothing else. Just Aaron. Give me a yay or a nay in the chat box, guys. What do you think? Aaron, and then the beanie does the rest. It's just the Aaron Beeney beanie.
If anyone asks, what's that? Oh, it's an Aaron Beeney.
Yeah. Just
but
Aaron.
Yeah.
In like handwriting text. Aaron. Here we go. We've got nearly 150 people in the room here. Let's see where it goes. I'm going to read them out to you. We've got yay. That's Luke and Daniel straight in there with 2 yays nice and early. Oh, we've got a nay from Chris S. CB's gone in with a yay. Samuel has also given us a yay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yays to 1 horse. Chris has done it both. We've got a yay, we've got a nay, we've got a yeah. Simple but effective. Love that. No. Zumba Queen said no. That's not yay or nay. You're making up your own game here. Dart Horse has put yay and then put nay because he always puts nay. Yay, nah. Just an A on the beanie. Nay, yay, hey, yay. We've got more yays than nays. I'd say that's at least.
There's a lot. See, I personally, I'd prefer to have that, like the beanie script that's on my shirt, on the hat with the yin and yang, because that's kind of my thing. But your idea, that yeah, it's quite amusing.
Dave agrees with you. He's really put nay beanie with the yin and yang logo.
Boom. See, that's where I was thinking, like, as official merch. Maybe we could do the Aaron Beeney as like a limited time offer or something. I don't know.
Speaking of limited time offers, let me just pull this up quickly. If I just pull this onto here, why has that gone over there? You'll see here that I do have Edgar TV goodie bags at the moment. I've only got 10 of these available. You'll see on your screen at the moment, covering both me and Aaron. What will you get? In your goodie bag, you get 2 signed photos, a signed set of flights, a pint glass, a Edgar TV beanie hat, 2 stickers and 2 badges. These are going at the moment for just £25 plus postage, depending where you are. If you want one of these, guys, look at the bottom of the screen. You will see they are available on my social medias. Just drop me a message there. Jodie's saying, I can't believe you're plugging this during the stream, and she's literally sat shaking her head at me right now. But we've got to let people know that they're available. They're literally...
Why wouldn't you plug it?
Before I came on stream, 4 of them went, so there's about 6 of them available, depending if they haven't gone already. But if you do want one of those, guys, look at me at the bottom. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or Snapchat, you can get yourself an Edgar TV goodie bag. There we go, we're back on screen again now. I just went over the top of that. Jodie's literally like, I can't believe you put that on there. But yeah, like you say, why wouldn't you? No, it's a fantastic bundle there for just £25.
I was going to say, people are watching Edgar TV. Why wouldn't you promote the merch? If I had any, I'd be plugging mine.
Glenn Durrant's just arrived in the room. Said he's still the Premier League champion for 2 more weeks.
We need to talk to him about that group chat he started.
This is the thing, right? We talk about Germany and... like, you forget so many of it, like, until like the Nathan Aspinall thing just came up, and it just came up in my head just then, and the things that keep coming back, and I totally forgot about that group chat until you've just mentioned it.
Germany is the gift that just keeps giving.
I normally hate things like the Germany, like going abroad and all that side of things, but this one wasn't actually too bad. It was just, if we was allowed out a bit more, that would have made it easier and more palatable, rather than like, so hopefully by the time when we come back, to Milton Keynes, it might be like a bit of a semi-bubble or something. Maybe we could go to the buffet.
We go to that buffet, you're going to see something special.
Oh, wait till you see the buffet. The buffet is, it's so good. I mean... I'm just going to introduce Jodie into the thing quickly. You've been to the buffet before, haven't you?
I'm allowed, aren't I?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Yeah, out of 10, what would you rate the buffet?
Is that the buffet or is that the buffet?
The world one.
The
in Milton
buffet
Keynes.
or the buffet?
Yeah, the one upstairs.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Yeah, it's really good.
out of 10?
Yeah, it's be 8, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, an 8 or a 9. So, Jonas has asked us, what is the meaning behind the yin and yang on the shirt?
Okay, I'll try and explain this as quick as I can. Yin and yang is all about balance, light in the dark, dark in the light. It's I work in the prison service. What we're trying to do is rehabilitate people that are seen as evil, but everyone has that purpose for evil. Blah, blah. It's all about. It's just my mental philosophy. It's about balance. No one's all light, no one's all dark. And I wanted to kind of represent that with my tattoos. So the yin and yang is a bit of a nod to my tattoos about balance. Because my right arm is all like Japanese, ancient Japanese culture. Left arm's all Native American. Right arm, so we've got like East and West. Right arm's all in hot colours, reds, yellows, oranges. Left arm's all in cold colours, lots of blues, greens and purples. This has got a lot of real dark like filling between the different pieces. This has a lot of light skin tone still, so we've got dark, light, east, west, hot, cold. But they both entirely match. So I've got my geisha here, exactly the same spot on this arm. I've got my princess. Here I've got the chief. And here I've got the samurai. It's a bit of architecture. There's a pagoda There's a totem pole. So it's all completely the opposite, but completely the same. To make it the yin and yang, I'm going to have to turn around for this. So the sun rises in the east. So I've got all these cold colours of a sunrise under a lake on that bit. And sets in the west, and it's the only bit of hot colours on this arm is a sunset there. So it's all about the yin and yang, like the small hot spot and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's all about my tattoos, really. That's about it.
And it all blends together lovely, and that, I'm guessing, is why they wanted to put it on the beanie as well. But I'm still convinced that Aaron is the way to go forward with the beanie. Danny Music has asked, are your darts tailored to your throw?
Kinda. It was a weird process. Like I say, I just had one set of darts that I threw with for nearly my entire darting life. So when it comes to being given an opportunity, like winning my tour card gave me this opportunity to go to a shop, and I was offered the chance to just have a throw with whatever I liked, whatever was there. I must have thrown hundreds of pounds worth of darts that day. And there was like one with a grip that I really liked, but something just wasn't quite right. There was another dart with the shape of it was just sitting really nice in my hand. And I was just wishing, like, I wish that dart had that grip and like the little bit more balance of that one. And it's a bit of an amalgamation of three different darts that I tried that day. But yeah, they're kind of tailored to me in that sense. But now that I've kind of got what I'd say is the Generation 1 beanie dart, I've got something that, you know, I know is working for me, but it's now kind of a base for some changes or whatever in the future that might improve. At the moment, I've got no intention on changing it. To say they're tailored to me is difficult because all I've done is throw loads of different darts, find a grip I like, a shape I like, a weight I like, and just try to mash them all together into what is now being sold as my dart. And I do like it.
There's a conversation appearing in the chat here, again started by Glenn. He's put about the yin and yang and all that stuff, and he says it's all about Stella Artois. And then people are talking about Stella Artois and things about it being, you know, like a strong sort of bit. Now, to me, Stella is something to avoid. It became quite legendary amongst my group of friends when I was around about 20 and I drank a few too many of them, and it then got nicknamed Stella Actor Twat. So, and since then, obviously, I've not... You can imagine what that evening was like when that is the...
Well, I know what you're like sober.
Yeah, so the... We avoid Stella Actor Twat nowadays, so if there's going to be a tipple, it's got to be a bit lighter, it's got to be a bit more blue wicked. Flubber.
What was it? What was it? The lemonade you brought?
Oh no! I was kind of hoping you wouldn't bring that up, but I've kind of been called out on it here. So. This is right. I'm going to go to Asda and I'm going to get some lemonade. And I've come back and I put the lemonade in the fridge. And as I put it in, I thought that lemonade looks a bit funny. So I've got it out, and it was bubble gum, you know, and it was bright blue. It was bright blue. And then, like, I said to the lads, like, "Oh, I've messed up here." And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "This is the lemonade." And I showed them, and it's like bright blue. It couldn't be any more blue. And it's like, how did I get that mistaken for lemonade? Clear liquid, bright blue.
I was never in a million years. I have no idea. Like, everyone knows Ryan's got bad eyesight, but yours was worse that day, my friend.
Yeah, I just probably weren't paying attention, was I? You know, well, obviously I wasn't. Yeah, we'll move swiftly on from me making silly mistakes to Charlie's question. Charlie says, advantages of working with Rocks. Why have you put Roxley?
Roxley.
The L on an L, it goes at the bottom. You put the down at the top. You put Roxley. So
Roxley?
I'll read it as it is. Advantages of working with Roxley as opposed to a bigger brand. What are you on about, Charlie? We are the people's brand. We are the brand of the masses.
Give Loxley another year. They'll be one of the biggest names. Promise you that. They're doing all the right things. They're doing a lot of good stuff.
Oh, here we go. Luke Bauer, how could you mistake that for lemonade? I genuinely do not know.
Nobody knows. That was ridiculous. Like, literally couldn't have looked any less like lemonade if it wanted. The only thing that could have looked less like lemonade is Iron Brew.
Contradictions. There's a
contradiction in a glass. Huh?
You love that. You love it.
Contradiction, please.
I'm genuinely concerned about the amount of conversation tonight as in dressing up as women.
But there's only been one conversation, hasn't there?
It's doing it again. Like,
okay.
Someone's even asked Glenn if he likes dressing up as a woman. I can see that there'll probably be this photo. There'll be this thing one day, won't they? Where like we'll do a photo of us all just stood there. It's just be like, there you go, get it out your system, guys. In fact, actually, I did that, didn't I? There's a video of me. Oh God, yeah. Why didn't I think of this at that point? So do you know when there was a point where that Snapchat feature was going around, where you could like put a filter on it and make you look like a girl.
Yeah, I've seen some of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that filter was going around, and I was under the impression that everyone was doing it. It was all the rage, and I thought, I want to go one better. I'm not content with that. So I went in Jodie's wardrobe. We got a dress out, and we went the full way. Jodie wet herself. She thought it was
being that guy.
And like you say, I was completely sober. You had a valid argument against that. I'm just going to see if I can pull it up quickly. See if I can find where it is. Here it is. Matilda Edgar. And I interviewed myself. So I put on a waistcoat and I interviewed myself. Let's just share that in the chat. There we go. So that's shared in the chat box now, guys. So if you want to see that video, it's in there, unfortunately.
I'm gonna have to look at that later because I've not seen this.
Yeah, I put on a waistcoat and interviewed myself, and like I say, Jodie laughed her head off. She thought it was brilliant. So right, let's have a look. What other questions have we got? We've got a few more here. If you wasn't playing darts, this is the return of SJ has asked, if he wasn't playing darts, is there any other sports that you would like to play professionally?
Interesting question. I used to really be into martial arts. Always fancied doing a bit of taekwondo. I did a bit of judo, but I was really good at basketball. But yeah, then my joints messed up. I mean, from the age of 17, I was on crutches for years, so I couldn't do any sort of physical sport like that. So it's not something that's ever been an option for me. Darts was like the most physical thing I could do for a lot of my life. So, yeah, just this.
I'm trying to read that question, but I can't quite get that one, so we'll move on. Nico has asked, would you ever have your own darts ultimate card?
I can't see why not. I think I need to do something a bit more and maybe decide on what my walk-on music might be, because that seems to be a regular thing that's put on them. Because I've not actually had to think about that. I've not done anything where I've needed walk-on music or other. Yeah.
Can you remember my suggestion? I gave you one.
You did, and no, just no. Your suggestion never happened.
There was what was it? I don't know. You know, the big stuff. Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? You know that one? I thought he should have gone with that. I thought that would have suited quite well, especially due to the fact that he likes to constantly post pictures of himself all over social media without a shirt on, as you can see right here on Edgar TV. I'm a little bit concerned that the viewing numbers dropped slightly when I shared that video of me.
I'm not surprised.
I'm thinking that it's going to be... Oh, no. I've got a feeling that video's going to have some comments on it very soon, actually.
Excellent.
There's a lot of people asking about prison stories and prison life. Is there anything that you could tell us in regarding the lifestyle there and how that sort of affects or links in? Because obviously, I'm guessing some days are physically tiring, some days are mentally tiring, some days are probably a combination of both. And I'm guessing that's why you said that you try not to sort of overdo the practice and you've got like a structure and you sort of build up to different things. How does the job sort of affect the two lives? Or is it, like you said before, just two completely separate lifestyles? I'm person A, I'm person B, and I can actually get away with this split personality in this point and not get committed for this.
It's kind of like, I kind of have to have like three different versions of me. I mean, behind prison walls, it's like a mini society with its own hierarchies, and it's a very bizarre world. And unless you're actually in there, it's really difficult to kind of comprehend what we see and deal with on a daily basis. People often ask me, like, oh, what's the weirdest thing that's happened to you this week? And you think, like, well, there hasn't really been anything. But then you'll actually think, well, no, because that's not really a normal thing that people deal with at their day job. But because I deal with it most days, it becomes normal. Things like self-harm, people making quite serious statements of taking their own life. Like, we're having these sort of conversations, real deep conversations with people, about like what they might have to live for, how we're going to help them through that, maybe help them get to a more law-abiding life on release. Like, it's such a strange world. But then the PDC Pro Tour, also such a strange world. Yeah. Like, you do things there, and like, yeah, we have a laugh, we have banter, but we're all there doing this amazing high-level thing with our sport of choice, and we are a room, like, as a room, we're meant to be the 128 best in the world at this. And like, I get to have interactions with MVG, Peter Wright, that people, they watch them on the telly and idolise them, but I get to see them just what they're like on a normal day. But then when you get to that match board, it's a totally different mindset. And then when you do something good, like your phone starts going insane and people saying, like, we really want to interview you for this and that. And it's like, wow, I'm actually in the public eye. Like, oh, sales of your product are now going to Australia. Like, there's people the other side of the world wearing a shirt with my name on it. That's a totally different world. And then you've got the me that's outside of both of them. Like, this is my normal life. I actually have normal friends, and we don't talk about prison because that's quite, heavy and in depth and can be a bit like traumatic, I suppose. So you kind of leave that aside. People ask about the darts, but it's just like, well, I've just done, like, in the last 3 days, I've done 6 interviews talking about that one match, and everyone at work's asked me about that match, so that's kind of overlapping in there. And so you have your life out away from that as well, where I watch movies, I play a bit of PlayStation, I don't look at the dartboard. So there's 3 totally different worlds that shouldn't really mix, but I think I'm making it work.
There was a word I wrote down here on my notes when you were speaking. I wrote down desensitized.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you were saying when you were saying things like, oh, how's your week been? What's going on? Oh, nothing. And then, like, when you compare it to actually, because you're desensitized, that's the normal to you. That's what you know. That's what a working day looks like. But to Jodie over here, who's going to go in more of an office-based sort of role.
Excuse me?
You're an office-based sort of role?
No.
Well, what would you say
tell
yours
you
is?
every time it's not an office-based role.
Of course it's an office role.
No, it's not.
How is it not an office role?
Get out of town
I
and
love
move on.
that started an argument.
It seems to happen quite a bit here, don't it? What would you call it then?
No, just move on with the question. We're not getting into this now.
Well, you've thrown it now. I've kind of lost where I was.
How dare you?
CB asked a question here while you were going. I wrote this down as well because this is something that would be quite interesting. He says, do you think Edgar would survive in prison?
Yes.
Right.
Not as long as you're one of the ones with keys. I think you could work there. I don't think you'd be a good prisoner the other side of the door.
Yeah. Is it? Do you think I'd rub people the wrong way, or?
Yeah, your sarcasm. You'd get shanked in the shower within a week.
Right. Within a week. I like the way you gave me a week. That was it.
Yeah.
It's the sarcasm. I take it they don't like sarcasm there then from that approach.
No. Like, you could probably get away with it if you're in the uniform and had that bit of banter. But as like, if you're out, I'd let you out for exercise and you'd get cobbed over the head with a tin of tuna in a sock.
Right. So, in terms of would I survive, the answer is no. Apparently,
as an employee, yes. As a prisoner, no. You're dead.
Right. So, I best be a good boy then, because breathing's one of them things you don't like fully appreciate until it's gone.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of breathing.
Oh, it's right up there for me. It's right up there for me on the list of things that I like to do. Hobbies. I mean, somehow, how did this come up in conversation as well? Literally, I keep coming back to Germany in conversations. Somehow we got onto the fact that I'm really good at hide and seek.
Yes, we did talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
And I don't know. Maybe it was because we were talking about you fitting in the washing machine.
Yeah, might have been. Yeah, because then we realised that I might be your match for hide and seek.
Oh no! And then, and then we, because I mentioned that I was hiding in really terrible places when Jodie came home from work, weren't I? And then she's like coming in, like, really? And I'd be like laying there with my feet hanging out the bottom of the bed, sort of thing, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually a good hider. If you've ever wondered, guys, if I'm good at hide and seek, yes.
Have you ever been caught out like cutting the hole in the bed yet?
No. But I've got headphones on, so it's okay. It's okay.
Got away with that one.
Yes. Yep. Yep. I just love Dart Horse. I tell you,
again?
Yeah. Guys, if you're on Twitter, let's do a mass adoption. If you're on Twitter, when we come off of this, let's go follow Dart Horse because he's brilliant. Literally everything. Nay.
I'd love to know who that is. It's genius.
Yeah, I love it. I love that. Yeah. I think Glenn's a little bit disappointed with the level of conversation here. Obviously talking about the lemonade, hide and seek, bubblegum, yin and yang. He's like, what's happened? You did miss the start where we did run through what is wrong with Beeney, and we tried to figure out if we could work out exactly what it is, but no, we couldn't.
No.
We couldn't. So, did you have any more questions from the chat box? Cool. Right, so chat box questions are complete. So,
excellent.
Was there anything you wanted to say to the Edgar Nation before we sign off? The dog's scratching me. Why are you doing that? What's she doing? Now she's licking me. Why was she scratching me? Look at that. Look at that.
Everyone's just heard you scream like a little girl.
Yeah, but look at the lines.
Everyone's just heard you scream.
Now she's licking me. Oh my!
I love this.
Look.
Yeah, she's saying to me that. We're having colours now.
This is why I won't survive a week, because I've got very sensitive skin.
He's a little wuss.
Oh, delicate little baby.
Right, you'll know about this probably within the training side of things as well that they've done. But there's different variants of pain. There's like a knocking pain, like a thud. You've got heat as a pain. You've got like scratching and slapping as a pain. I hate slaps and scratch. I cannot stand it. It's one of those things that gets right into me very quickly. It's one of those things that just sort of instantly winds you up, that sort of pain, that scratchy, slappy pain. But yet knocks, like thumps, bumps, things like that, that's fine, you know.
This probably explains why you haven't got tattoos, because they're a scratchy heat kind of pain.
Exactly that.
You wouldn't like them. You wouldn't like that at all.
No.
Patrick's got
And there was, you know, because Jodie says, like, she goes, how can you go to training and let someone punch you in the face, but yet she scratches a little bit, and I'm like, ugh, and I roll around in agony.
You're a wuss.
And it's just, like I say, it's different types of pain. Glenn's done a nice question here. This will be a nice one to end with. Glenn has said he is playing so bad at the moment. He is playing bad in his own words, and like the table tells us. Hey, there you go. It's not gone. It's still there. Still there. He says he's playing so bad at the moment.
That's the other kind of pain. Sorry.
Emotional.
Yeah. Sorry, what was the question again?
Do you think you would win a leg off of him?
Yeah. I'd win a leg.
Do you think you'd win 6? Oh, yes, there we go. 5. You know now, Super Series, Milton Keynes, Day 1, Aaron Beeney, Glenn Durrant, Board 15.
Me and Glenn played. Me and Glenn have played. I think he did 6-0 me. I think I was really bad.
Ah, there you go. That's why he'll be bringing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes to bring up his wins.
Current form is the other way around at the moment.
Oh, definitely. He's not at a semi-final recently, has he?
Still love you, Glenn.
But he's not a Pro Tour semi-finalist like the Beanie.
Final next.
And then the winner.
Got to win one now.
Yeah. All good steps, all good steps. So, guys, in fact, I've just looked at the clock. We've been going for 1 hour, 40 minutes.
Wow.
Ironically, this is kind of very similar to what it was like again in Germany, where we sat outside and we'd just chat, and then we'd look at the clock and go, I suppose we best go to
4
bed.
hours gone. Yeah.
And ironically...
we would be really interrupted by people going, can you record a video to this person?
Oh, yeah. Why there's so much that you just forget, isn't there? Like, literally, it was...
We did record a little skit, though. It was nice. Friendly. Banter.
Literally, can you say this? Camera. Whoa, hang on a minute. Let's just...
Need context.
Let's just slow down a little bit here. Let's just remove the camera for a second.
You know that thing you said about Jodie does, where like she'll have a conversation in her head and then bring you in right at the last moment?
Yes.
That's what happened there as well.
Exactly that. So
it was
it got me in the end. Just before we do come off the stream, I'm just going to quickly remind everyone that Edgar TV goodie bags are available right now. They're just £25. There's only 10 available. Hopefully there'll be a few left. Contact me on social media on the link below. Look at all the goodies that you get in the Edgar TV goodie bags. Contact me at the bottom there. I'm sure Glenn's going to be buying loads of these because do you know what? I might even take him. I might take him an Edgar TV hat to Milton Keynes. I think that'd cheer him right up. He'd love that. He would love an Edgar TV beanie, wouldn't he? Yeah. We'll take him one over to Milton Keynes. There will be Wiki darts on the next one, guys. I'll make sure of that. I just didn't think Aaron would be. You might be very good at it. I might be underselling this, but I just didn't think Wiki darts would be the way forward. There will be another weekly darts challenge coming out soon, guys. So the weekly darts challenge will be coming out where you can have a little practice at home doing a game or a challenge. Jodie took one on today. I'm sure she'll drop the link in the chat very soon before we come off, so you can check out her attempt at the weekly darts challenge from week 1. Yeah, thanks for joining today, Aaron. Actually, it's been we thought this would be a fun one, and I think we've delivered on that sense.
You learnt stuff that, bearing in mind how many stories we've sat and shared, you learnt stuff today, like the dress thing.
Yes.
I still want somebody else knows my past. It's worrying.
But
yeah, like you've learnt stuff today.
And hopefully you've all learnt things today that Aaron Beeney is that guy. He's that guy. Let's just, we'll put it there. He's that guy, guys. Thanks for joining us. It's been a nice evening. It's been a nice stream. And I'll catch you all soon, guys, for some more. Oh, before we say we'll catch you with some more Edgar TV, can you remember who you've got to go follow? Who do they need to go follow, Aaron?
Dart Horse.
Nay. Go get following Dart Horse. We love Dart Horse here on Edgar TV. You came up in Germany. We did have a good chat, guys. Like I say, thank you all for joining, and we'll catch you soon, guys. Some more Edgar TV.
Bye.